In many cultures, being direct is considered rude. But in American English, being indirect can make you sound like you're hiding something. Hey everyone, welcome to Speak Like a Native. I'm Maya.
And I'm Leo. Let's get into it.
Today, we're cracking a huge cultural code. It's about directness versus indirectness. Leo, have you ever been in a situation where you tried to be polite, but the other person just seemed confused or even annoyed?
All the time. Last week, I was in a meeting and I said, maybe we could possibly consider a different approach. And my American colleague just looked at me and said, so, is that a yes or a no? I felt like I was being clear, but to them, I was being vague.
Exactly. That's the heart of it. For many learners from East Asian, Southeast Asian, or even some European backgrounds, communication is like a dance. You hint, you suggest, you read between the lines to preserve harmony. But in mainstream American professional and social culture, communication is more like giving clear directions on a map. The goal is efficiency and clarity first. So your polite hint, maybe we could consider, sounds like uncertainty or a lack of confidence.
So, being honest is always polite in America?
Great question. No, not always. But honesty framed clearly is often seen as more respectful than vagueness. It shows you respect the other person's time and intelligence. You're not making them guess. The mistake is thinking direct equals blunt or aggressive. We're going to teach you the middle ground, the polite directness that sounds natural and confident.
I need this. Where do we start?
Let's start with the most common daily situation, making a request. Imagine you're at a cafe with a friend. Your coffee is cold. What would you say to the server?
I'd probably say, excuse me, my coffee is a little cold.
Okay, and what are you hoping will happen?
That they understand I want a new, hot coffee.
Right. But to an American server, that statement, my coffee is a little cold, is just information. It's not a clear request. They might just say, oh, sorry about that, and walk away. Or they might ask, would you like me to heat it up? Which puts the work back on you. The direct, polite request would be, excuse me, could I get a fresh coffee, please? This one's gone cold. See the difference? You state the problem and the desired solution clearly.
So instead of just describing the problem, I should directly ask for what I want.
Yes. The magic formula is often softer, direct request, please, first reason. Could I tour? Would it be possible to? I'd like to, followed by the clear action. Let's try another. You're in a work meeting and you disagree with a point. An indirect way might be, I'm not sure if that's the best idea. What's a more direct yet polite way to say it?
I see it differently. I think we should try X because...
Perfect. I see it differently or I have a different perspective is direct. It names the disagreement. Then you follow with your idea. It's respectful because you're engaging with the idea directly, not tiptoeing around it. The indirect version can sound like you're afraid to commit to your own opinion.
This is already making sense. But what about common mistakes? What do learners often get wrong?
One huge global mistake is overusing I want. In many languages, I want is neutral. In English, especially American English, it can sound demanding and childish outside of very close relationships. I want a hamburger sounds like a 5-year-old to a server. The fix? Swap it for I'd like. Or can I get?
I've definitely said I want at restaurants. No wonder I got some strange looks.
Another classic, especially for speakers from Chinese, Japanese, or Korean backgrounds, is using too many softening words together. I was just thinking that maybe we could possibly, that string of hesitations kills your authority. Choose one softener. I think we could is enough.
And for speakers like me from more indirect cultures, we might avoid saying no directly. We say, that might be difficult, or I'll try, when we mean no.
Exactly. And in the US context, I'll try is often heard as a yes. It creates confusion and missed deadlines. A polite, direct no is more valued. Something like, thanks for asking, but I won't be able to take that on this week. It's clear, it's polite, and it manages expectations.
Okay, so we have making requests and giving opinions. What about giving feedback? That seems like a minefield.
It is. And here's the part that surprises most people. In American workplaces, Overly indirect negative feedback can be seen as passive aggressive. It feels like you're dropping hints instead of having an adult conversation. Let's set a scene. Imagine I'm your colleague Leo, and you did some work for me, but there's a mistake in the data.
Okay. Hi, Maya. Here's the report you asked for.
Thanks, Leo. I'm looking at page 3. I think the numbers here might be a little off. Maybe the source was different?
Ha ha. Wow, that was so indirect. I heard the hesitation. Might be a little off, a question at the end. So what should you say?
A more direct, constructive way would be, Leo, thanks for getting this to me. I found an inconsistency in the data on page 3. Let's walk through the source together so we can fix it. Did you hear the difference? I stated the fact clearly. I found an inconsistency. I didn't say you made a mistake. Then I proposed a collaborative solution. It's direct about the problem, but the focus is on fixing it, not blaming.
That sounds so much more professional and clear. It doesn't feel personal.
Right. The indirect version makes the listener do the emotional work of figuring out how bad it is and what you really mean. The direct version takes responsibility for clear communication.
Now here's a big one for me. Invitations. If someone says, we should get coffee sometime, do they actually mean it?
Haha, the classic American vague invitation. This is where Americans are indirect. We should get coffee is often a polite way to end a conversation. It's a sentiment, not a plan. A real invitation has a time, a place, or a next step. Are you free for coffee next Tuesday? That's direct. So the rule flips here. For social plans, vagueness is common and doesn't mean dishonesty. But for anything logistical or work-related, clarity is king.
My brain is switching modes. Work, direct, social vague plans, indirect.
You got it. And this is why understanding the why is so important. The cultural context. American directness comes from a few places: a low-context communication style, where you say what you mean, an individualistic culture where stating your needs is expected, and a business culture that values time as money. Not being clear is seen as wasting time.
So when I'm indirect, I might think I'm being polite and respectful, but the American might think I'm being inefficient, unsure, or even manipulative.
That's a strong but accurate way to put it. It's a major cross-cultural misfire. Now get ready, because in a few minutes, Leo is going to make the exact mistake 90% of learners make when trying to be direct. Stay with us.
The pressure is on.
Let's practice. I'll give you a common indirect phrase learners use, and you give me a more polite direct version. First one. In a restaurant, to a friend, about the music. The music is a bit loud, isn't it?
That's just a comment. A direct request would be, excuse me, could you turn the music down a little, please?
Excellent. See? You're not complaining, you're solving. Next one. At work, to a boss, about your workload. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with all these tasks.
That's just sharing a feeling. A direct approach. I have 5 priority tasks this week. Can we discuss which 2 should be my focus so I can deliver quality work on them?
Leo, that is perfect. You stated the fact, proposed a solution, and framed it around the goal of quality work. That is professional, direct communication. Okay, here's your challenge mistake. You're in a team meeting. Someone suggests a project idea you think will fail. You say, that's an interesting idea. There could be some potential challenges to think about.
Okay, that's me being super indirect. I'm hinting at problems. A direct version would be, thanks for the idea. I have some concerns about the timeline and budget. Can we go through those before we decide?
Yes, you acknowledged the idea, named your specific concerns, and proposed a next step. It's respectful and clear. The indirect version leaves everyone wondering what your real objection is.
This is a game changer. It feels more powerful to speak this way.
It is. You're communicating with authority and clarity. And remember, this doesn't mean you lose your politeness. Please, thank you, I appreciate that. Could you? Would it be possible? These are all your best friends. They are the polish on the direct request.
So, what's our one single takeaway today? The sentence to remember?
Today's rule: swap hints for clear requests. Instead of describing a problem, ask for the solution you need. Could I get a fresh coffee, please? Not this coffee is cold.
I love that. Clear and actionable.
If you're finding the shift in thinking helpful, make sure you're subscribed to Speak Like a Native. We decode a new piece of real natural English every day, so you can sound more confident and avoid these cross-cultural misunderstandings. Hit that bell so you don't miss an episode.
And we want to hear from you. What's a situation where you weren't sure if you should be direct or indirect. Try rewriting an indirect phrase into a direct one using today's tips and put it in the comments below. We read them all and will give you feedback.
Thanks for listening, and remember, speaking like a native isn't just about words, it's about understanding the unspoken rules behind them. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.